The silence of the high Sierras wasn't peaceful. It was heavy. For 12-year-old Leo, that silence felt like a physical weight pressing against his chest. One moment, he had been lagging behind his father and sister to photograph a rare blue butterfly near the trailhead. The next, a sudden, blinding fog, the kind that rolls over the peaks like a spilled bucket of gray paint, had swallowed the world. He had turned left when he should have stayed straight, and now, the trail was gone. The first night, survival over panic. As the sun dipped behind the jagged teeth of the peaks, the temperature didn't just drop, it plummeted. Leo knew the first rule of being lost: stay put. But staying put on a narrow, wind-swept ledge was a death sentence. Shelter. He found a shallow cave, more of a rocky indentation, beneath a massive, weathered cedar. Insulation. He stuffed his jacket with dry pine needles and leaves, a trick he'd read in a survival book. Hydration. He had half a liter of water left. He sipped it, as if it were liquid gold. He didn't sleep. Every snap of a twig sounded like a grizzly. Every howl of the wind felt like a ghost. But as the first light of dawn turned the gray granite into a pale, bruised purple, Leo made a choice. He couldn't wait to be found in a crevice where no helicopter could see him. He had to find the vein, the descent, logic versus fear. His father always said, "Water is the mountain's blood. It always leads to the heart of the valley." Leo began to look for the slope. He wasn't looking for a path anymore. He was looking for the way the world tilted. He found a trickle of snowmelt, dripping from a rock face. He followed it. The journey was grueling. 1. The scree slope. He had to slide down a field of loose shale. Every step triggered a mini avalanche. He stayed low, using his hands as rudders, his palms raw and stinging. 2. The deadfall. He encountered a graveyard of fallen trees, their branches like bleached bones. He had to climb over and under, his lungs burning in the thin air. 3. The doubt. At noon he reached a cliff edge. The water he was following turned into a thin waterfall, dropping 30 feet into a pool. "Don't look at the drop," Leo whispered to himself, his voice cracking. "Look at the handholds." He didn't jump. He retraced his steps, finding a narrow goat path that bypassed the drop. It took 2 hours, but he stayed alive. The turning point. By late afternoon, the trickling water had joined other streams, becoming a rushing creek. The vegetation changed. The gnarled, stunted pines gave way to lush ferns and towering Douglas firs. Then, he saw it. A cairn. It was just 3 stones stacked carefully on top of one another. To anyone else it was a pile of rocks. To Leo it was a lighthouse. It meant a human had stood exactly where he was standing. He followed the creek for another mile until the trees thinned. In the distance, the metallic glint of a parked truck caught the sun. He didn't run. He didn't have the energy, but he stumbled forward, his boots heavy with mud and his spirit light with the sudden realization of safety. The return? When Leo finally reached the trailhead parking lot, the roar of a search helicopter was overhead. His father was there, hunched over a map on a ranger's hood, looking 10 years older than he had yesterday. Leo didn't shout. He just walked into the clearing. When his father looked up, the map fluttered to the ground, forgotten. Leo had gone into the mountain a boy who followed trails. He came out as someone who knew how to find his own way back. He realized that the mountain hadn't been trying to break him. It was just being a mountain. It was up to him to be the one who survived it. Survival stats. Category. Outcome. Time lost, 22 hours. Distance covered, 8.5 miles. Injuries. Scraped palms, mild dehydration, key tool, a single orange whistle and logic.